Hey, what's up, cats and kittens? If you follow me on Facebook or on Instagram, you probably have seen my most recent post. I couldn't help but contain myself. That's not right. I couldn't help containing my... No, that's not right either. I couldn't help... I couldn't contain myself for posting a picture, at least one picture, of my latest acquisition in the drum set world. Behold, behind me, as you see, a mid to somewhere in the late 40s Slingerland Radio King drum set. 24-inch bass drum, 13-inch rack tom, 16-inch floor tom, with a snare drum matching with wood hoops. Snare drum has wood hoops. I just brought these home merely hours ago, and a friend of mine has basically loaned them to me indefinitely until I can collect the money from selling another kit that I'm selling now online. Which, by the way, if anyone has any interest in a Yamaha recording custom in the cherry red Dave Weckl color, sizes are 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, all mounted toms, 22-inch kick drum with all the tom mounts that you would need, including the double tom holder, stand, tripod, if you will. That's for sale online. And make me an offer. I'm looking to get about $3,000 for it, with all of those drums, all of those sizes. I think that's a pretty fair deal. So yeah, I'm selling that kit. If you're interested, hit me up in the comments, or go to my website, write me an email, or if you're seeing this on socials or whatever, just write me a direct message. Yeah. Wow. I am ecstatic for having this kit at my disposal. I set it up as soon as I got home. It's in great condition. It's been refurbished. I believe that's a new wrap that's been put on there, and probably the wood hoops on the snare drum are new-ish. I don't know. I don't really know the history of this kit, really. As you see, there's on the rack tom, there's a World Max mount. So there's no actual mounting hardware attached to the shell, which is so... I tell you what, the sound of these drums is so incredible. I've wanted a 24-inch bass drum for years, and I just, for whatever reason, I haven't been able to, or just didn't make it happen for, I don't know what reason. It's just, sometimes life gets in the way a little bit of things that you want to do or you've been meaning to do. And I had a birthday recently, and just been thinking a lot about time passing in my life and the things that I've accomplished in my life and the things that I have yet to accomplish in my life, and goals that I have yet to achieve. And I just feel like life is too short, and it's just time to just make things happen. It's time to really stop wasting time and stop waiting around for things to happen. Because guess what? They're not going to happen on their own. You have to make them happen. Now, I didn't really make this happen, other than I have a friend who had this drum kit, and he doesn't have room for it at his house, and it doesn't seem like he has much use for it other than having it as a collector's item. And so he was showing it off to me. This is earlier last year. This is like last spring. And of course, I was just geeking out. I was just like, wow, I've never, up to that point, I had never even seen a Radio King drum set live in person, much less got to sit down and play one. So it was a thrill for me. And he's got just a ton of amazing drums and just a whole collection of really fantastic instruments. So he's been trying to, I think he's been trying to sell it, and knowing full well that I wanted it, I could put it to good use. And so we've been chatting some more recently, and it's just time. It was just time to make it happen. And I told him, I said, man, I want this drum kit, but I really got to sell another kit before I bring this one back with me, before I can really afford another drum set of this nature. And so this afternoon, I was over at his house, and he was just like, well, why don't you just, bring them home, hold on to them, play them, put them to good use, and when you get the money, you can pay me. Wow. So needless to say, I was beside myself, and that's very, very cool of him, very trustworthy and honorable. And yeah, it's just way cool. So now I have this instrument here at home in the studio, which I'm thrilled about. I even have a session to do tomorrow, which I plan on using this kit for. So funny enough, at first, when I first brought them here at home and brought them into the studio, set them up, the bass drum, it's wide open. There's no muffling at all. The only muffling, there's one of those old school clamp style round mufflers that you clamp onto the hoop, and it's just touching the bass drum head, the batter bass drum head a little bit. So that's the only muffling that's going on. It's a wide open, the drums are all wide open, but the bass drum in specific was really just like booming, and like I thought, geez, I don't know if I'm going to be able to use this kit on the session I have tomorrow, just because it's like out of control. Like, it's like, holy cow. I mean, cool, for an effect, but for a song, and for like a singer-songwriter kind of song, it was just a bit much. And so I was writing to my friend, the songwriter, Justin Mather, and I was telling him about this kit, but I was like, I don't know, this bass drum. So, I put it all up. I got the mics on the kit, and was just listening through headphones and stuff, just playing. And then I thought, I haven't really even touched the tuning of this drum kit yet. I hadn't. So, like nothing. That's not entirely true. When I was over at my friend's house to pick up the kit, I did take the bottom 13-inch rack tom head off, just to kind of inspect the inside of the shell, and so I put that back on, and I didn't I tuned it up. I mean, I didn't really touch it much. But that was the only thing. So, and I'll say this, that the toms are like perfection. I haven't touched them. I really haven't hardly touched them at all as far as tuning goes. So yeah, the bass drum was just really unruly is the best way to describe it. It was humongous and just like you could hear and feel the front head especially flopping through the mics. And so I got up and I I cranked up the front head here and just tuned it up a bit higher than the batter head is. Just sort of guessing, not really knowing what would happen. I put my headphones back on and sat down behind the kit again, and it was just like, oh, there it is. Like, boom, just tight and big and boomy and fat and warm and just thuddy and gorgeous sounding. I mean, just... And same with the snare. So the snare, I felt like, geez, it feels really flat. It feels kind of like a flat tire almost. There's like, there's just nothing. It was like very low volume, the volume output. And I thought, wow, these shells are really quiet. Because it wasn't really coming through my monitor mix like my other snare drums were. And so, you know, I kind of went once around the batter head a little bit just to check the tension on each lug, and they seemed pretty tight and pretty, you know, had a nice tension to them. So I turned the drum over and checked the tension on the bottom head, and it was really low. And so therein lies the problem. So I cranked up the bottom head of the snare drum, and again, just like, you know, guessing here, just went around real quick and just made like, probably like, you know, like 3/4 of a turn, of a full turn on each lug. So sort of like that, you know, like from 12 o'clock to 45, you know. So, instantly the snare drum was just like, oh, oh, there it is. Wow. So I'm just so excited to have this kit. Not only do I have a 24-inch bass drum, which, as I said, I've wanted for years, just to have that extra low end, that extra oomph, that extra kick in the booty. But now I have a Radio King from the 40s. Holy cow. I cannot describe in words. There's no words to say how satisfied I am and just elated. And I literally can't wait to go to bed and get up early in the morning and play this kit like all day tomorrow. And as I said, I have a session to accomplish. I have a lesson, a guy who's coming over at noon, and he's gonna get to play the kit too. And you know, so it's a full day, but my gosh, I can't wait to use this kit. And I wish I could practice right now. It's probably like, it's almost midnight, I think. I can't do that. I'm in the house, there's neighbors. I can't do that right now. So I have to wait. I guess this is good for me. In some strange and sick way. Anyway, so this is the weekly vlog, episode number 15, I believe. Welcome back. If you've gotten this far, thanks for joining me. I've been doing the same kind of gigs I've been doing up until this weekend. This week was a little lighter for me. I didn't have my Broadway gigs were ended as of last weekend, last Sunday, and last night I played my last corporate gig with the Burning Las Vegas band for the year, because I'm getting ready to go on tour. Let's see, I have a week left. I leave literally a week from today to go to Omaha. I'll be flying to Omaha for a couple of days, and I get in a day early on the Sunday, straight to the rehearsal facility that they have there at Mannheim Steamroller in Omaha, and I will begin to get the brand new Canopus Yaiba Birch drum kit all set up for the tour. So what does that mean? It's a brand new kit. So it's like we're just taking it out of the plastic. We're making sure, putting it together, put all the heads on. I have new heads for every drum, top and bottom, matching snare, so get that dialed in. I have new cymbals from Istanbul Agop. I have new pedals coming, the Tama Speed Cobras. Love those pedals, my favorite pedals, among other things. And it's going to take about a day for me to get the whole kit dialed in and up onto the drum rack. They have this big drum rack that's on the platform there, and get everything positioned and comfortable and ergonomic for me and my playing. And that includes not just the drums, but all the auxiliary percussion that I'm playing on the tour, which includes a set of orchestra bells, glockenspiel, a toy piano, an electronic sample pad, an old school Alesis sample pad. What else? The dulcimer that's in the hammered dulcimer that's set up behind my head. I play for one tune. And any other extraneous, the different mallets I need, and for suspended rolls and triangle hits and this sort of thing. There might be other things as well. Not to mention, I need to dial in my mix, get the mics positioned where we want them. You got to talk to the front of house guy about, what I'm looking for out of the drum mix and how to accomplish that. And so there's a lot to think of and consider and just coordinate, and but it's all really cool, fun work. I'm really excited to be joining up with Mannheim this year as the drummer in the Green Band. So and I know most of the music. There are 2 new songs in the set from last year's set, one of which I don't even play on. So really I only have to learn 1 song for this year, which is super awesome. I like the light load, but I am trying to. I'm going through the whole set and song by song, and really trying to memorize everything so that I don't have to read it. And the other day I played through the whole set and noticed a couple of things. First of all, it is a chop buster. I had forgotten just how intense this music is on DRUMSET. The tempos are fast. There's some pretty fast grooves and hard rocking sort of like you are moving and you got to be warmed up, and it's like from 0 to 100 in less than a second, a New York minute. And so that was the first thing I noticed, but also just there's parts of the songs that I know really well, and there's other parts that just because I've always read it on music that it never really sunk in. Like there's a tune, I forget which tune it is, but there's a tune where I'm not in right away. Like I have to wait a bunch of bars for rest, and then finally when I do come in, it's like this hi-hat thing. It's like a 6/8, like a shuffle kind of groove, and I've never really known how many bars to count, or really like what is my cue. I have this big sort of drum fill, and I was counting the bars the other day, and it's a total of 13 bars. So it's odd. It's no wonder I don't really feel it very well, because it's odd. It's like a 13 bar section. The entrance is with hi-hat for 2 bars, and then the kick joins in. So you could think of it as 11 bars in a way. That doesn't really help me either, though, because it's like it's still odd, and it's hard to feel. And so what I remember is now that is the big drum fill starts at the end of the 12th bar and goes through the 13th bar, and then crash on the 1, and then you're in grooving. And from there I'm good. But it's just that beginning where it's like, well, shoot, how many bars do I wait? And like, okay, the hi-hat starts there, but how many bars until that drum fill? And those are the things that I'm really trying to focus in on, those little details, and just lock it in my brain, so that when I get there, I'm not reading it anymore. It's all in my head, and I can just play it with my eyes closed, hopefully. Not that I would do that, but just I want to have it internalized, so that I just know the music inside and out. So I don't even need an iPad or anything to look at as far as reading goes. So yeah, that's what I'm focused on this week, because it all starts a week from tomorrow. Rehearsal does. So I'm excited. I'm thrilled. There's so much good stuff to look forward to. That's what's going on in this awesome Radio King. That's what's going on. Yeah. I feel like the countdown has begun. It's like you're leaving for tour, and you have so many days left to do and accomplish everything that you need to do. I'm doing some online shopping. I bought a travel hair dryer earlier today. I bought some shower shoes, so I don't have to go barefoot in the dingy showers wherever I might be. It might be some of these venues you got to shower in the venue. And, you might be in some arena, some sports arena, or hockey arena, or some old theater or something, and you just never know what you're going to come across in these dressing rooms and showers and shower stalls, and even some of the hotels, really. But the hotels are generally very nice. We don't often get a hotel because we don't often have days off. We're on the bus pretty much full time until you have a day off, and then you get a hotel room. So, which is fine. That's fine by me. I don't need a hotel room. I like being on the bus personally. So yeah, I just feel like, spending time with the family. It's like you have this sort of countdown that's happening, and I'm trying to meet with some friends, and I'm even meeting some new people for coffee this week, and just making new friends. And there's a lot. Again, there's just a lot to think about. There's a lot of emails back and forth. I might make a video of just what it's like to prep for a tour like this, and just kind of delve into everything that goes into the planning stages of a tour like this. And because there's a lot to think about. And I'll talk about the new drum kit and how that was sort of brokered. I'll talk about my endorsements with the gear that I use, and so on and so forth. Just some of the music, that stuff that's happening, the prep, and just everything that, from every angle. Packing, what to bring, what to prepare for. So yeah, there's some things, So yeah, I have now played what I believe to be my last local gig of the year. Again, that was last night, and I took some video of it, but I was really disappointed because something happened with the audio, and for some reason the kick drum didn't record. Like, it's almost like there's like a high pass filter on the whole video. I don't know what that's about. Maybe the only thing I can think of is maybe my cable wasn't inserted into the audio in jack all the way. Or maybe it just came out. Maybe I just pulled it or something and it came out when I was setting it up. Who knows? That's the only thing I could think of for a reason of why that would happen. But anyway, it was good. It was a good show. Finished the year off strong, especially this year. This year was pretty interesting for me, and very, very sort of unplanned, if you will, the way things went down at the start of the year for me. And maybe I could talk a little bit about that too in another video. I could talk about it now too, but yeah, like this year was not what I expected it to be. Let's put it that way, to put it mildly. And the whole first half of the year was kind of slow for various reasons. But in the summer it really picked up for me, and I was beginning to say yes to everything again. And that's when the phone started ringing again, big time. So, as I said, finished strong, and my bank account loves that, and I love that because I love to work. I don't like to be at home like waiting for the phone to ring. Not that I ever wait for the phone to ring. I don't do that really. I'm always busy doing something. But nonetheless, you know, I don't like idle hands. Let's just put it that way. I don't want to be spinning wheels or just dilly-dallying, or, you know what I mean? I really like to, I like to be working. I like to be out and just have purpose and have an agenda, whether it's my own or whether it's for hire, you know, working for somebody else. I like that. So it's important for me to keep working, and it's just good for my soul, you know. So yeah, it's good for my playing too, you know. I have to say, definitely sharpened the knife especially this latter half of the year, because, you know, when you're on an artist gig and you're playing the same music over and over and over in the same order, and you're not really taking too many other gigs outside of that touring gig, it's different, you know. You get lazy, you get lethargic, you get kind of like, yeah, I don't need to take that gig, or I don't need to work on my jazz chops, or I don't need to work on, you know, this, that, or the other that's not included in that touring gig. So you get these sort of gig chops on a touring gig, that's long term like that, because you don't need to do anything else. Versus when you're freelance, you're doing all sorts of gigs in all sorts of genres. At least I am. You know, I'm doing jazz gigs, I'm doing rock gigs, I'm doing country gigs, I'm doing gigs where it's by request, and sometimes you're playing songs you don't even know, and with a multitude of different rhythm sections and band leaders, and they all want different things in different ways, and you're using different gear on different gigs for different styles of music. And I tell you, it sharpens the knife big time. It really does. It makes you sharp and aware and hyper aware, and it's challenging because there's a lot to remember. You know, every band does things differently. They have their own arrangements. They end it this way, and this other band ends it this way, and they like their tempos a little different, each one. And it's, you know, and you have to keep this in your head. You have to keep it straight. So it's good. It's good. It's good for me. It's a little bit exhausting at times. No doubt, I'm exhausted at times. I come home and I'm mentally fried and I'm physically fried. It's a lot of moving gear. You're packing the car. You're humping gear in and out of clubs and bars and, you know, venues, hotels, and all sorts of ballrooms and stuff. It's a lot of that, you know. So anyway. Just some thoughts on that. You know, it's been a good year. It's turned into a good year, I should say. The start of it was not a good start, but things are coming together. I like that. Hopefully for you too. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to sort of the coda of the year, the outro of the year, as it were. We're coming up on Halloween here in a few days, and before you know it, it's Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then, you know, we hit the reset button, and we're all in a new year. So anyway, with that in mind, thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell so you get notified when my videos are up. I teach drum lessons if you're interested. here in person in Nashville, and through video, online, Facebook, FaceTime, and WhatsApp, and all the apps. So just hit me up at my website, and I'll throw me a message from my website, and it'll go straight to my phone. And don't forget, I have a Patreon page, patreon.com/BrianZach, where I've been, really, I've been uploading some new videos, some new content lately. The latest piece of content was me breaking down the trading fours section of the tune Billy Boy, off the Miles Davis record called Milestones. So Philly Joe Jones on drums doing his trading fours. Absolutely amazing record and song, and those fours just need to be studied. And so I broke it down. I have the transcription, and I demo not every four, but many of them, and play them slowly. And you can download the transcription from the Patreon video. So all you got to do is just subscribe for $5 a month, all right? And it's no cancellation fees or anything like that. So you can just go on there for 1 month and take a look, and then quit. If that's your game, that's fine by me. No pressure. So there's a ton of other content there, and you should check that out. So yeah, patreon.com/BrianZach. That's it for this episode of the weekly vlog. Thank you for joining me, and stay tuned for more video and content coming from that 1940s Radio King drum set. Brian Zach signing off.